Hiker confronts mountain lion alone. Hiker's close encounter with mountain lion in California offers crucial lessons on how to stay safe. On July 3rd, around 6:30 p.m., an experienced solo hiker experienced a heart-stopping moment while walking along the secluded Gridley Trail in Ojai, California. What started as a peaceful hike quickly turned into a tense encounter when realized she was just feet away from a mountain lion. Join us as we take a deep dive into this story on the AI podcast.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into something pretty intense. A recent incident really captured the raw feeling of running into wildlife unexpectedly.
Yeah, this one definitely got people talking.
Imagine this. You're hiking alone, maybe look down for a second, and then you look up, and right there, just feet away, a mountain lion staring you down.
It's hard to even picture.
Well, that's exactly what happened to Courtney Rasura. This was just back on the evening of July 3rd, around 6:30 p.m.
And this was out on the Gridley Trail in Ojai, California. Pretty secluded spot.
Exactly. Now, what's really striking here, I think, isn't just that she survived, it's how she acted. It kind of goes against every primal fear you'd expect. She actually managed to film the whole thing, the entire encounter.
Incredible.
And stayed incredibly composed, walked away, totally safe. It's like a masterclass in keeping your cool under extreme pressure.
And that's really what we want to dig into today, right? Our mission for this deep dive.
Yeah.
We're looking at this incident. Sure, it's a wild story, but it's also a really important case study. It tells us a lot about human-wildlife interactions, especially with, apex predators like mountain lions. And we want to focus on the practical stuff. What survival techniques actually work in these rare, frankly, terrifying situations? Things that might even seem counterintuitive.
So by the end of this, you, listening, should have a much better handle on what effective action looks like.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Practical knowledge from a real-life, high-stakes encounter.
Okay, so let's reconstruct it. Let's really get into those minutes. Courtney Rasura, she's not new to this area. Over 15 years hiking Ojai trails.
So she knows the terrain.
Yeah.
Experienced hiker.
Right, and she just briefly looked down at her phone. Apparently she was trying to play a podcast.
We've all done it. Quick glance down.
Exactly. And when she looked back up, your heart just stops thinking about it.
Yeah.
A mountain lion standing right there on the trail ahead of her, staring. That immediate shock, that realization of danger.
Unimaginable.
My first instinct, honestly, I'd probably freeze solid. Or maybe worse, just turn and run.
Which feels natural, right?
Yeah.
The flight response.
Totally. But what she didn't do is just as important as what she did. She didn't panic, no sudden moves.
That's critical.
Instead, her hand goes to her phone, and she starts recording video, almost instinctively.
It's really something, isn't it, that decision? Instead of fleeing, she documents.
Yeah. How crucial was that? Not running.
Oh, incredibly crucial. That's exactly what the experts, like the National Park Service, the NPS, tell you not to do. Running is. Well, it's basically the worst thing you can do.
Why is that? Because they're faster.
Partly, yes, they're incredibly fast, but it's more about triggering their instinct, that quick movement, fleeing. It flips a switch in the lion's brain.
Like a predator-prey thing?
Exactly. It screams prey. It ignites that chase instinct. Any curiosity the lion might have had just gets overridden by this hardwired need to pursue.
Wow. Okay, so she avoids that trigger. And then she does more. She adopts this really confident stance.
Right, she didn't shrink away.
No, she held her ground, kept steady eye contact, which sounds terrifying in itself.
It does, but it's key.
And then she started shouting commands, firmly. Things like, no, and go away. You can hear it in the video. And at one point, her voice actually rises to a full scream, trying to assert dominance, basically.
And those assertive vocal cues, combined with the eye contact, that's textbook effective strategy.
Really?
Yes, it's all about communication in their terms.
Yeah.
You want to appear larger, more dominant, more dangerous than you feel. That discourages them.
So shouting and standing tall helps with that.
Absolutely. And contrast that with what the NPS warns against, crouching down.
Why is crouching bad? Seems like making yourself smaller might make you less of a target.
Counterintuitively, no. Crouching makes you smaller, yes, but it makes you resemble typical prey animals more closely.
Ah, okay.
It can actually trigger that prey recognition we talked about. So Courtney, standing tall, making noise, looking it in the eye, she was essentially shouting, in lion terms, I am not prey, I am a threat.
Okay, but the tension wasn't over immediately, was it?
No, it wasn't quite that simple.
The lion apparently slipped into the bushes for a moment. You'd think, okay, relief.
Right, you'd hope it was leaving.
But then it came back out onto the trail just moments later.
That must have been heart-stopping. The test continues.
But she didn't flinch. She kept her ground, kept asserting her presence, didn't back away, and crucially, didn't turn her back.
That's another key point. Never turn your back on a predator like that.
So it was this sustained effort, holding her nerve.
Exact.
And it worked. Eventually, her actions, that confidence, the noise, it paid off. The mountain lion finally turned and then just sprinted up the mountainside. Gone.
Must have been immense relief.
Oh, you can hear it. In the video, there's this immediate audible sigh, like whoosh, followed by a shaky, oh my God.
Completely understandable.
And reflecting on it later, she described it as an amazing and terrifying experience all at the same time.
Which sounds about right.
A unique mix of awe and terror. Yeah, and she also mentioned, I had never come across a mountain lion before, despite all her years hiking there.
It really highlights how rare these direct confrontations are.
Definitely. And the reaction online was huge. That footage went viral almost instantly. Thousands and thousands of views on Instagram.
I saw that. The comments were fascinating.
Widespread praise, mostly. From other hikers, wildlife folks, people saying things like, damn, that was too close, you know?
Yeah, stating the obvious there.
Right. And her reaction was perfect. I saw one comment that really summed it up. Stood your ground and never turned your back. Good on you.
And they're right. It's important to stress this. Her actions lined up perfectly with what experts, including the NPS, recommend for these encounters.
So it wasn't just luck. It was informed action, even if instinctive in the moment.
Absolutely. Her quick thinking, following those guidelines, likely prevented a much, much worse outcome. It's like a real-world validation of the advice.
This whole thing also got people asking bigger questions, didn't it? Like, are we seeing more mountain lions now? Is this becoming more common?
That conversation definitely popped up.
Yeah, a lot of viewers were trying to connect it to what's happening in California right now, pointing to the big fires back in January.
And the idea of animal displacement.
Exactly. People suggesting that maybe fires and habitat disruption are pushing mountain lions, coyotes, bobcats too, into new areas, even into neighborhoods sometimes, looking for territory, looking for food.
It's a plausible connection. Large-scale habitat changes definitely impact wildlife movement, but it's also important to understand the mountain lion's role.
What's that, ecologically speaking?
Well, they're vital, actually. They primarily control deer populations, which is crucial for keeping the whole ecosystem in balance. Their presence usually signals a healthy wilderness area.
Okay, so they belong there. But let's be honest, the phrase mountain lion still triggers a lot of fear for people. How dangerous are they really?
That's the critical question, and it's all about perspective. Yes, attacks on humans can happen. They are possible. But statistically, they are extremely rare.
How rare are we talking?
Okay, look at the data from the Mountain Lion Foundation. Since 1868, that's over 150 years, there have been approximately 29 fatal mountain lion attacks recorded in all of North America.
29.
In over 150 years.
Right. Now, compare that to other risks, things we don't think twice about. In the U.S. alone, we average about 28 deaths per year just from lightning strikes.
Wow.
Around 86 deaths annually from animal venom bees, snakes, spiders, that kind of thing. And then you have tens of thousands of deaths every single year from car accidents.
So when you put it like that,
it really reframes the risk, doesn't it? We tend to fixate on these dramatic, rare predator events, but the everyday dangers are statistically far, far greater. It's a bit of a cognitive bias, really.
that's a good point. And just for context, in California, where this happened, what are the population numbers like?
The state's Department of Fish and Wildlife estimates somewhere between 4,000 and 6,000 mountain lions across California.
So they're out there.
They are. And here's the paradox. While actually seeing one, like Courtney did, is still uncommon.
The chances of encounters have probably increased simply because of us. Urban sprawl, habitat loss, we're pushing further and further into their territory.
We're meeting in the middle more often.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That puts pressure on them, too.
Yeah.
Here's a pretty sobering statistic that shows the conflict. In California, it's estimated that about 2 mountain lions are killed every week just by cars, hit on roads.
2 a week. Wow. That really highlights the challenge of sharing the landscape.
It absolutely does.
So going back to Courtney, after this whole thing, she said she'll definitely be more cautious, more alert on future hikes, which makes sense.
Of course.
But she also said she felt grateful grateful for the rare experience and grateful she could share it. Share it as a lesson in being prepared. She called it something I'll never forget.
A powerful perspective to have after something so frightening.
So when we wrap this all up, what's the core takeaway for you listening to this? What Courtney Rasura's experience really shows us is that facing down something terrifying isn't just about blind luck. It's about informed choices, decisive action, understanding the world around you, and maybe understanding your own reactions too.
Well said. And it leaves us with a kind of lingering question, doesn't it?
What's that?
What does this incident really tell us about how we coexist or how we should coexist with wildlife as our cities keep expanding? And maybe more personally for you, the listener. How can you take these principles, preparedness, composure under pressure, the things we saw from Courtney's experience, how can you apply those to maybe other unexpected challenges life throws your way?
That's definitely something to think about, whether it's on the trail or, just navigating everyday life.
Exactly. Something to ponder as you face your own wild encounters, whatever form they take.
With mountain lions losing their habitat due to wildfires and development, who should take responsibility? Humans or nature? Don't forget to comment it. Thanks.